We welcome you out to Fisher Field here at Baldwin-Wallace for today's high school baseball matchup between the Amherst Comets and the St. Ignatius Wildcats. Greetings, salutations, and welcome aboard today's broadcast. My name is Andy Bullbarch, joined alongside my tag team partner, Jared Viancourt. Our producer is Duke Anzac, and Johnny G is running the camera here today. We've got baseball for you courtesy of Spitzer Auto World at Amherst. At Spitzer Auto World, our world revolves around you. Jared, great to be joined by you as always. Two outstanding programs with remarkable track records. Amherst comes in 18 wins, 3 losses on the year. St. Ignatius is 9-11, but do not let that record fool you.
Yeah, you can take the records out of the window when it comes to this matchup, Andy. These two teams, they play every single year, and the score is always close. We're looking to see that again here today.
Well, let's take a look at our starting lineups, and they are brought to you by Brian Baker, a proud supporter of Lorain County High School athletics. Jared will take a look at Amherst, and I'll let you run through St. Ignatius. The Comets 18-3, led by head coach Matt Rossitano. Cole Marquez is leading off in left field, followed by right fielder Cole Charles. Cooper Bingham, the shortstop, bats third. Cleaning up at first base is Landon Wolf. Harrison Schneider will man the hot corner and hit in the 5 spot. The pitcher at DH is Zach Diedrich. He'll hit 6th. Hitting 7th, second baseman Eli Toyota. Zayden Rosario, the catcher, bats 8th. And rounding out the lineup in center field, Tyler Dean. He'll bat 9th.
Let's take a look at the starting 9 defensively for St. Ignatius. It looks like this: Finn Barman in left, Jackson Anthony in center, Rylan Whelan in right. On the infield, A.J. Peluso at third, Marcus Takancic at short, Yadian Oliveras at second, Jackson Merheb at first, and behind the dish, Braden Colleran.
Don't forget this one coming your way live and free on YouTube on the Lorain County Sports Network. Smash that like and subscribe button if you haven't already. We bring you more than just high school baseball and softball, 2 streams during the football season. We've got at least 1 game every week during the basketball season as well. So make sure you are locked in, subscribed, and you like this channel as well. Great to be with you on a very warm Monday here at Baldwin-Wallace, 87 degrees and breezy. First pitch of the game on the way. It is dealt down low, and we are underway. 5:02 the time of our first pitch. Lefty Logan Raybeck on the slab, 2 wins, 2 losses, ERA of 5.16. The next pitch, that's a little bit low again, ball 2 to Cole Marquez. It's a .283 batter on the season. Coach Rossitano's club. They've got this non-conference matchup here today, and then tomorrow and Wednesday against Avon Lake. The next offering finds the mark for strike 1.
And Amherst, they're trying to get in as many games as they can before the playoffs start. They're the number 2 seed in Region 6 Division 2, so they're looking to get in as many games as possible before the playoffs.
2-1 pitch, called a strike, and the Deuces are wild here on Cole Marquez. Both teams playing their tournament games next week. Using this week to tune things up and get ready for what should be an exciting stretch run. It's a called strike 3, a backwards K to get Cole Marquez. So a real nice bounce back there by Logan Raybeck. Fell behind 2-0, battled back, and gets a 5-pitch strikeout.
Logan Raybeck, not that far away. He's actually going to go to Case Western to continue his baseball career. And a lefty out to a good start against the Comets.
Left-handed hitting Cole Charles will break into the batter's box. First pitch, good-looking curveball, called a strike.
First time we've seen the curveball from Raybeck. Good location right there.
Catching up a little bit earlier today with both head coaches as the next one comes in. That's just a bit high, 1 ball and 1 strike. Coach Brad Gaynor of the St. Ignatius Wildcats was saying that, at 9-11, they've played some really stiff competition, some really good teams early on this season. The 1-1, that's right around the collarbone of the batter, Cole Charles, 2 balls and a strike. And he said they did that with hopes of building some confidence to get to this point in the year where they can fine-tune some things before they get into tournament play next week. It's low and away, ball 3 on Cole Charles.
St. Ignatius, they did just that not too long ago against Berea Mid-Park. They won that game 13-5, so that confidence you were talking about, Andy, really sets up for this matchup today against the Steel Comets.
And these two play each other every single year. Both head coaches have a ton of respect for each other. This is shot right back up the middle that jumps over the bag at second and into center field. Base hit. Cole Charles with a hot shot right back up the middle. A one-out base hit, and the Comets have one on for the shortstop, Cooper Bingham. Real nice piece of hitting there by Cole Charles. And here's Bingham, who's had a huge season for the Comets. A .431 batter, 3 bombs, and he's driven in 26 along the way.
Those 26 RBIs, the most on the team.
Coach Rossitano referred to him as an offensive catalyst. Pickoff attempt at first base, but Charles gets back easily.
And he had a good game yesterday against Riverside. He went 2 for 3, scored a run, had a walk. And he was first team all SWC last year in a Lorain County honorable mention.
Leading the team in most offensive categories. The next pitch misses away. Bingham is one of those guys that can certainly hit for power. We mentioned he's got 3 bombs on the year. Coach Rossitano was telling us earlier he's talked to him about not putting the pressure on him, knowing that there are a lot of guys behind him in the order, so he doesn't really have to press the pitch. And that's taken at the knees for a strike.
And especially considering the guy on deck, Landon Wolf, the cleanup man, he broke the all-time RBI record earlier this season for Amherst. So, yeah, he doesn't really have a lot of pressure when he has a good hitter right behind him.
Yeah, a chance to get past the century mark, depending on what kind of week he has. Another pickoff attempt at first. First baseman Jacob Merhab had to leap up to bring that one down. 1 ball, 1 strike count on Cooper Bingham. Well, you gotta love spring sports. You and I did a game about 2 or 3 weeks into April last year at the Pipe Yard, freezing our tails off. And here we are, 87 degrees, wind whipping around, blowing from our left to our right here today.
And it's probably the best weather day we've had on record here in 2026.
It's always a tough one.
I'm ready for June. I don't know about you, Andy, but I'm ready for June.
Yeah, right there with you, partner. Yeah. Next offering grounded right side of the infield. That gets through for a base hit. They will throw up the stop sign for Charles at second. They go station to station on back-to-back one-out knocks from Cole Charles and Cooper Bingham. So Amherst has the table set for Landon Wolf. Jared was just talking about him a few moments ago. Set the school RBI record, one that had been held in check going back to the early stages of this century, 2001. So that was a 25-year-old record that he broke.
And he has a great power from the left side. First team all at SWC last year.
Wild pitch will get by the catcher, Colleran, go all the way to the backstop. Both base runners will advance. Well, that was a breaking ball that was down and away from the left-handed hitting Landon Wolf. And now he's got a pair in scoring position and still just one away.
If you're Logan Raybeck, you can't make mistakes like that to this Amherst team or they'll make you pay.
Next year, Landon Wolf will continue his playing career. He'll be playing at Ashland. He swings and chops it foul toward the Amherst dugout. Situated on the first base side today here at Fisher Field at Baldwin Wallace. An all-turf facility. Kind of a necessity if you're north of the Mason-Dixon line.
Yeah, and it really depends where facility you're at. Some fields have a turf infield and a grass outfield, but you really don't see all turf fields.
Breaking ball, missed the mark outside, 2-1. This gets plenty of play at every age level you can think of for all the obvious reasons.
A lot of tournaments played here for club baseball during the summer.
Yep, if it's dry, you can bet your bottom dollar that this is in play.
And the only thing that really is missing from Fisher Field is lights. Obviously, you have neighborhoods around Fisher Field, so you can't put lights on Fisher Field. But other than that, great facility, as you mentioned, Andy.
Still 2-1 on Landon Wolf. Harrison Schneider waits in the on-deck circle. Logan Raybeck deals. This is popped up. Foul territory, third base side. Finn Barman chasing after it and left, not able to get to it. That'll land foul.
And I think that was a good decision by Finn Barman, even though he couldn't have caught that ball. I think that would have been better because you have great speed in Cole Charles at third. He would have been easily able to tag up and score the first run of the game.
Facing 4 straight left-handed batters here in the top half of the first inning. Logan Raybeck struck out the first batter he faced on 5 pitches before allowing back-to-back base hits to Cole Charles and Cooper Bingham. Here it comes. Breaking ball, bounced foul again. Got him out in front a little bit on that breaking ball, but there you see the quick hands of Landon Wolf able to stay alive, sending that one foul.
Wolf, he was sitting fastball there, but got the breaking ball. If I'm Rayback, I'm going back to that pitch.
Despite the wild pitch a few moments ago, for the most part, he's been able to locate that pitch pretty well. Open stance for Landon Wolf. The pitch. And this is fouled away again.
Raybeck is really jamming Wolf inside. He doesn't want him to have any swinging room in this at-bat.
The last time I called the game between these two, it was an unbelievably good one. It was the regional semi back in 2019. Final score was 1-0. St. Ignatius, of course, went on to win the state title that year. The pitch, swung on and missed, strike 3, got him. Just as you predicted, he went to the well again with the Uncle Charlie. 2 big strikeouts for Raybeck, 1 out away from getting out of this jam.
Huge out for Raybeck.
Landon Wolf made him work. He used 7 pitches to get the strikeout. And here's Harrison Schneider. Boy, what a career he's had as well. Going to Bowling Green next year. He swings and fouls it away to the right. I don't envy anybody that parked in the general vicinity.
Schneider, he had a great junior season. He was the 2025 SWC MVP, and he was the Lorain County Player of the Year as well.
He'll start this game manning the hot corner. We expect to see him pitch at some point. Lays off the high fastball, 1-1.
With Amherst playing yesterday against Riverside, this is supposed to be a bullpen game for the Steel Comets.
Schneider's expected to start the game on Wednesday against Avon Lake, but like everything else in the spring,
plans change with weather.
You got it. Breaking ball hit in the air, foul, first base side. And who knows? I mean, look, it's windy out here right now, a little humid today. They're talking about the potential for storms later. They say storms for sure tomorrow, and Wednesday's 48 hours away. So at this point, probably not even worth looking at that forecast.
No, because it can change any second.
Raybeck's ahead, 1 ball, 2 strikes, and now he steps off. And they call a balk. They call a balk on Raybeck. That'll score Cole Charles, and Bingham will go from second to third.
And I don't think Raybeck stepped off the mound correctly.
St. Ignatius head coach Brad Gaynor coming out to have a discussion with the umpires here to see why that was called a balk. Well, you're an umpire. You know how these things work.
He either didn't step off the mound correctly or he flinched at some point, and we just did not see the flinch. I am a betting man that he flinched in some shape or form before staying off the mound. But either way, Amherst able to take advantage to get the first run of the game.
He will go to the windup here with Bingham on third. 1-2. That misses high and wide. Well, it looked like what he wanted to do, Jared, was he was set up to come to the plate in the stretch. It looked like he wanted to step off and then go to the windup. 2-2. Fastball cut on and missed for strike 3. A trio of strikeouts for Raybeck here in the top of the first inning, but Amherst draws first blood, scoring on a balk. St. Ignatius coming to the plate for the first time today after this. It's Lorain County High School baseball coming your way on the YouTube channel here on the Lorain County Sports Network. An early 1-0 lead for Amherst over St. Ignatius. A balk brought the first run into the top half of the first. Here in the bottom of the first inning, it'll be Ryan Whalen, Jackson Anthony, and Braylon Collar. The first three due up to face Zach Diedrich. Andy Bolbarch joined alongside Jaron Vinecourt to call this one for you on the Lorain County Sports Network. Glad to have a nice warm day to bring this non-conference matchup to you. I mentioned Amherst will be in action the next couple of days, taking on Avon Lake. Both teams getting ready to dive into that tournament next week. Always exciting times, as it gives us a pretty good signal that the academic year and athletic year both coming to a close for high schools all across the great Buckeye State.
St. Ignatius, they're actually the 6th seed this season in Division I, Region 4 in the Northwest 4 bracket. And they're going to take on the 14th seed Elyria, a team we are very familiar with, being part of Lorain County. And they actually faced Elyria in the first round last year at the playoffs as well.
First pitch is outside for a ball on Ryan Whalen. 269 batter on the season. Swinging from the left side. Diedrich into the wind of the pitch. Fastball upstairs, 2-0. Zach Diedrich has made 7 relief appearances this season. This is his first start. He does have a save, no wins or losses, an ERA of .120. He's up high again with a heater, and it's 3-0 on Whalen. Diedrich, 11 2/3. He's allowed 9 runs, only 2 earned though. 6 walks and 14 strikeouts. Fastball up high, ball 4. Whalen's aboard on a 4-pitch free pass.
Not the way you want to start if you're the Steel Comets.
Coach Gaynor was telling us that they had played a game against Worcester last week, and they did a lot of little things right. He felt like that was an eye-opener for his team because they got dinked and dunked to death. First pitch upstairs, 5 in a row now from Diedrich. And he said, we need to adhere to some of that. When we get on, we've got to do the little things right to move guys over and take advantage of our situational opportunities. Fastball called, strike 1. And he said throughout the year, he feels like the pitching has been pretty strong for the most part. Offensively, they're still trying to come around. Pickoff attempt at first base. Whalen gets in safely. We mentioned it's Whalen leading off in right, Anthony batting second and center. Then Braylon Collar, the catcher in the on-deck circle. We'll get to the rest of the lineup after the breaking ball swung on and missed for strike 2. Jacob Merhab, first baseman, cleans up, batting 5th, DH Jack Quinn. In the 6th spot, left fielder Finn Barman. Marcus Takancic is the shortstop, batting 7th. Batting 8th, third baseman A.J. Peluso. It's Yadian Oliveras at second base. The ground ball hit down to third, knocked down by Schneider. No play at second. Throws across to first, not in time. Whalen to second. Jackson Anthony down to first. That was hit very hard off the bat of Jackson Anthony. Schneider did a good job of knocking it down, but Anthony able to leg that out with an infield single. Here's Braden Colleran. Left-handed hitting catcher stares at a breaking ball for strike 1.
First really breaking ball we've seen for Diedrich here early in the strike zone.
.333 batter on the year, an OPS of .1024. Fastball gets just enough of the inside corner to be called strike 2.
That OPS, that's video game numbers.
Yeah, very, very impressive. His numbers certainly stand out. There's no doubt about that. Of course, he'll be continuing his baseball career at the next level, going to Kent State. Breaking ball swing and a miss, strike 3.
Great location there by Diedrich, painting the outside corner with that breaking ball to get the first out of the inning.
Very aggressive there, 3-pitch strikeout. Still 2 on, 1 away now for the cleanup batter, Jacob Merhab. Diedrich from the stretch, breaking ball low and outside. I mentioned Colleran going to Kent State. Of course, the MAC tournament will be over at Forefront Field in Avon. Action begins in just a couple of days. Runners go on the pitch. Breaking ball hit in the air. Down the line and left. Cole Marquez on the run. He jumps up and he makes the catch at the wall. Both base runners have to retreat. Marquez able to catch up to that on the warning track. A really loud out and a long one at that.
That was a great catch by Cole Marquez because this isn't his home ballpark, so he had to feel around on the warning track to make sure he had enough room to make that catch and made a spectacular jumping catch to get the second out of the inning.
2 away. Can Diedrich work his way out of this jam? He'll have to try and find a way to retire the DH, Jack Quinn. Diedrich will step off. We ran through those starting lineups just a few moments ago. Brought to you by Brian Baker, proud supporter of Lorain County High School sports. First pitch is up and in. Zayden Rosario, sophomore backstop, reaching up and to his left to retrieve that. He missed some time earlier this season due to an injury. He missed about a month. Good looking curveball for strike one.
Dietrich's doing a good job of paying the outside corner with that curveball here in the early going.
Coach Rossitano said they expect to leave him out there for just about 50 pitches today, hoping that he can give them 3 innings. Right now, unofficially, I've got him down for 15. And then they've got a lineup of guys they have scheduled to pitch after him. Fastball hit in the air to center field. Tyler Dent drifting back, reaches up and makes the forehead high catch to end the inning. St. Ignatius had 2 on, nobody out, nothing came of the threat. Amherst leads 1-0 at the end of 1. High school baseball coming your way on the Lorain County Sports Network on YouTube. On for his second inning of work. Top half of the second, Amherst 1, St. Ignatius nothing. 6, 7, and 8 batters, Zach Diedrich, Eli Toyota, and Zayden Rosario due up to face the Wildcat lefty. Struck out 3 batters in the first inning. He allowed a run on a couple of hits. The run came across via a balk in the top of the first inning. Well, both teams threatened Jared in that first inning, but a nice job done by Zach Diedrich of working his way out of a jam where St. Ignatius had men on first and second and nobody out.
St. Ignatius are not going to get that many opportunities today against Amherst with how good their pitching is. Even though it is a bullpen game, you got to take advantage of every opportunity you can.
Great year, both on the mound and at the plate for Zach Diedrich. We detailed his pitching numbers before. Takes a backdoor breaking ball for a strike. 27 pitch first inning for Logan Raybeck. He threw 16 strikes. He'll come to the dish with the 0-1. Fastball upstairs. At the plate, Diedrich hitting .400 on the nose, and he's knocked in 16 runs. Amherst came into this 18-3 on the season. The next pitch is line right back up the middle into center field, base hit. Third hit of the game for the Comets.
Diedrich, I think, bringing out a little bit of his own Shohei Ohtani. We saw it on the mound, and we just saw it in the box. Great start for the Steel Comets here in the second.
Enter Eli Toyota. Toyota, Last year was a sophomore, brought up at the end of the season, but he got some really big innings playing at second base on that outstanding tournament run that the Comets made. Pitch takes one low. Good stop of the catcher, Colleran. Last year, he drew rave reviews for what he did with his glove. And this year, he's put some tough at-bats together. The next pitch, a swing and a miss for strike one.
Toyota, he had a good game yesterday against Riverside. Went 1 for 2, drew a walk. And as you said, Andy, a nice addition to this Amherst squad in his junior season.
They'll set up on the inner half against him. 1-1 plateward, and it's low ball 2. As a matter of fact, Coach Rosatato said that on other teams he'd probably hit a lot higher, but him hitting in the 7-hole gives them a great deal of balance. You look 1 through 9 in this batting order. There just aren't any easy outs.
And that's why they made it to the state finals last year.
Expected to do the same again this year. I mean, you talked to a lot of people in the area before this season began, and obviously everybody within the program. That was the expectation, to get back there and finish the job. It came really close a season ago. The pitch to Toyota. This is shot through the left side of the infield, base hit. Another line drive single. Finn Barman up with it in left field, gets it back to the infield. Back-to-back base hits from Diedrich and Toyota. And the Comets have 2 aboard with nobody out for Zayden Rosario.
So this is what we saw in the first inning. Amherst, they had back-to-back singles, and they were bailed out with the balk to get the first run of the game. Now they look to hit with a runner in scoring position, add to that 1 run from the first.
Rosario having a real nice season in the 8 spot. Shows bunt, gets it down, gets a good one down. Third base side, they're going to step away, wait for it to go foul, but it won't. Picked up with a catcher, Colleran. A beautiful bunt base hit for Zayden Rosario. And now the bases are full of Comets with nobody out.
If you're Raybeck and Colleran, there was really nothing you could do in that situation. That was a perfectly placed bunt by Rosario. And now Amherst, they have ducks in the pond with their number 9 hitter, Tyler Den.
Tyler Den, a 4-year varsity letterman in this program, and that says something. They've gone some special places in his tenure. Curveball down and away, 1-0.
Baseball, it's one of those sports. It's really hard to be a 4-year varsity letterman and even a starter at that rate as well, especially for a program like Amherst.
Raybeck has what he wants from Colleran. Ready at the belt, the next one on the way. This is hit in the air, shallow left, that's going to get down for a base hit. It'll plate just one. The throw comes in from left, cut off with the third baseman, A.J. Peluso. 4 straight singles to begin this second inning. An RBI base knock for Den makes it 2-0 Comets.
That was just a great piece of hitting by Tyler Den. He took the ball where it was pitched on the outside corner, just hit a nice single the other way. And Amherst is in good shape right now.
Enter Cole Marquez. Went down looking at a called third strike his first time up. Bats with the bases loaded here and nobody out. Pitch number 1, curveball cut out and missed.
Are you surprised that Amherst has this many left-handed bats in the lineup today facing the lefty Raybeck?
I mean, I think that matters more the further up the food chain you get. In high school, if you're good, doesn't matter what kind of pitcher you're facing, right? Left, right, indifferent. Breaking ball down low. I think there's something to be said for that, right? It's interesting to start the game that way, but again, this is usually how Amherst is aligned, and I think that's how they will continue to align no matter who they face.
I believe they only have, what, 1 or 2 right-handed bats in the lineup?
Yeah, they don't have many. Fastball gets the outside corner, strike 2 called.
I think Bainham and Schneider are the only 2 right-handed bats in Toyota. I think there's 3, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah, they're lefty heavy, no doubt about it. Count sits at 1-2. Logan Raybeck. Jared talked about it earlier, going to Case Western Reserve. Fastball high.
Marquez, he was a first team all SWC in Lorain County in 2025.
Get used to hearing the wind in that crowd mic throughout the game. Nothing we can do about that. Winds gusting up to 30 miles an hour. 2-2 in too tight. What a stop by the catcher, Colleran. Somehow dove to his right to keep that from going to the backstop.
And this is a huge backstop here at Fisher Field. So if it gets past Collerman, Amherst, they're going to run like wildfire.
Yeah, there's a lot of room between where we sit behind home plate and the dish itself. Count stuffed full on Marquez. Cole Charles waits in the on-deck circle. Here's the payoff. Low and away, ball four. A bases-loaded walk, scores another one, 3-0 Amherst in the second. That'll bring in Cole Charles, and well, Jared, that's just a really nice plate appearance by Cole Marquez. He was down 1-2, and he works a bases-loaded walk.
He worked the count into his favor, and he did not give in to Logan Raybeck. He didn't chase his pitch, and there's still nobody out in the inning.
Cole Charles with a base hit back up the middle of the first. Takes a look at a knee-high fastball, 0-1.
The infield's not in for Ignatius, so they're looking for a 2-for-1 ball here. The corners are in, so they might try to go at home for the force.
Charles last year, second-team All-State, increasing his power in the offseason. He takes another one called strike two. Gap-to-gap power. Also has the ability to lay a bunt down. Put together another great season. Many believe he's amongst the best in the state. Swung on, lined into center field. That'll get down for at least a base hit. Coming over in center to cut that off is Jackson Anthony. That's going to score a couple of runs. A 2-run double for Cole Charles, scoring Rosario and Den. And Amherst is pouring it on here in the second inning, taking a 5-0 lead.
Great piece of hitting, and Amherst is hitting what has been given to them by Raybeck. All these lefties just taking it back up the middle or the other way, and they're not doing too much with it. That's the first double of the inning. Other than that, all the Amherst hits have been singles. So they're just taking what they're given. They're not doing too much. They're not trying to hit bombs. They're just taking as what's given to them, and they're putting nice plate appearances here against Raybeck.
You know, really outside of that bunt base hit from Zayden Rosario, and even that was a thing of beauty. Jared, they're hitting the ball really hard.
They are indeed.
Seventh batter of the inning in Cooper Bingham. First base open, 2 on, nobody out. First pitch is called a strike.
There's still nobody out in the inning, too.
Jared made the comment during our pregame show, and both coaches agree, you can throw the records out the window. You're talking about two prestigious programs like this. The next pitch, breaking ball sneaks in on the inside corner, strike two. And they're very familiar with one another. Both teams that are expected to make deep tournament runs. Amherst at 18-3 coming in. St. Ignatius 9-11. But again, that record can be a little bit deceiving. Breaking ball grounded down to first base, picked up there by Merheb. He will tag the bag to record the out unassisted. It comes at the expense of another run. Cole Marquez comes home from third. Cole Charles goes from second to third. Bingham with the RBI ground out to make it 6-0.
Great piece of hitting there by Bingham. Get him over, get him in.
So it's 6-0 Comets. They've scored a handful of runs in the second. And here's Landon Wolf. Struck out his first time up. He hits this on the ground to his counterpart, picked up by Merhab, looks the runner back at third and tags the bag himself to get the out unassisted. Great awareness by Merhab to get to that quickly and look the runner back at third to keep him there.
That's a huge out for St. Ignatius. If you're the Wildcats right now, you need to get out of this inning without giving up another run if you want to stay into this one.
Harrison Schneider will stand in now. Swings and sends this in the air to center. Should be a can of corn for Jackson Anthony. He'll take care of it with ease, and the inning is over. But some damage has been done Amherst sends all 9 to the plate. Here in the second inning, they score 5 times, and after 1.5, they lead 6-0. It's high school baseball on the Lorain County Sports Network on YouTube. Finn Barman, Marcus Takancic, and A.J. Peluso, the 6, 7, 8 batters due up for St. Ignatius here in the bottom of the second inning. Wildcats find themselves down 6-0 in this one. A big 5-run second for Amherst. Jared, they were able to get things going early and often in that second inning to take this sizable lead.
They had great at-bats. They were hitting the balls the other way and back up the middle, just taking what was given to them, and they had a nice piece of hitting in that second inning.
Zach Diedrich was spotted a 1-0 lead before he took the mound. Now he's working with a 6-run advantage, facing the left-handed hitting Finn Barman. Barman with an OPS of 714, very respectable. Fastball taken high, 1-0. 17 total tosses in the first inning for Diedrich. 10 of those were strikes. Again, they're hoping to try and squeeze 3 innings out of him today. The next pitch, breaking ball, falls into the zone for a strike. Well, 50 was the number of pitches they were targeting from Diedrich. The 1-1 swung on and nubbed toward third. Schneider digs it up, dishes over to first base, and they'll get it there in time to retire Barman for the first out.
Diedrich, he just threw a fastball inside right there to Barman, and he jammed him in really good on that at-bat. And a huge first out for the Steel Comets.
And those are nowhere near as easy as they look. It's knuckling at you, coming on that turf. You just don't know how that's going to bounce. So a nice job by Schneider to stay with that and get the out. Marcus Takancic lays off a breaking ball low and away. This young man will be going to the University of Tampa to continue his career.
Oh, so he's preparing with the weather and baseball today.
That's right. He's got to get used to it raining at 4 o'clock every day. Fastball in too tight, 2-0.
I don't think that comes till like September, doesn't it? Or is that just all year round thing?
It happens in the summer, I know for sure.
Oh, okay.
A lot of those Florida State League teams will tell you it feels like you're playing in a shower at 7 o'clock at night or in a sauna. I mean, I guess same, right? Depending on how you divvy that up.
Well, that's like a good-bad situation if you're down in Florida, because I got to assume all those fields are turf. So when the sun's out and you're on that turf, it may be 90 degrees, but with the turf it feels like maybe 100, 115. And then if it rains, you're getting poured on. So pick your poison, I guess.
You got it. Fastball high, ball 4. Takancic is on his way down to first base with the 1-out free pass. So that will bring A.J. Peluso to the dish. The third baseman swinging away from the right side. Zach Diedrich working from the stretch. Pitch on the way, low and outside. Good stop by Zayden Rosario.
St. Ignatius, they had a chance in the first inning. They had their first 2 guys aboard in the first, but couldn't do anything with it. Trying to chip away here in the second.
A chopper hit down the third baseline, foul. Yeah, back in that first inning, Ryan Whalen walked on 4 pitches. Then Jackson Anthony reached on an infield single, but nothing came of the threat. Diedrich struck out Braden Colleran. Got Jacob Murhab to fly out deep to left field, and then Jack Quinn flew out to center to end the inning. Curveball called, strike 2.
And they were hard outs too, but they were right at the outfielders. There was really nothing much St. Ignatius could do. Amherst outfielders, they didn't even have to move.
Diedrich has himself in the driver's seat. A ball and 2 strikes. He'll come to the plate. Breaking ball and a beauty. Swing and a miss, strike 3.
That was a good pitch sequence right there by Zach Diedrich. Peluso, he was sitting fastball, but he got the curveball instead, and he swung way early on that one.
He's done a pretty nice job throughout the game of locating that breaking ball. Here's the 9-hole hitter, Yadian Olivares. Stares at a fastball that's low and inside. Olivares, the second baseman, .250 hitter on the season. They've used a number of bodies at second base. They platooned some guys there this year. Curveball down and away, but Olivares, Coach Gaynor mentioned, has certainly made the most of his opportunities. Quick check to first where Marcus Takancic is leading off. Curveball called, strike 2. Strike 1, I'm sorry.
You talk about those opportunities. Olivares, he's only a sophomore, and this St. Ignatius squad altogether, they have 18 seniors, so they have a lot of guys moving on, a lot of guys that need to fill those spots in the upcoming years. Olivares could be one of them.
Check swing and a high fastball. And you're right, that's an overwhelming amount of seniors.
When you have 4 teams, that big of a program in St. Ignatius, it's even then, but yeah, that's a lot.
3-1, curveball, cut on and missed, strike 2. And he had mentioned, yes, that's one of the things that certainly stands out. I had asked, what makes this team unique? He said, look, that's a lot of seniors.
Yeah.
I don't know that we've ever had that many before. That's a lot. Runner takes off with a 3-2 pitch. Breaking ball called, strike 3. A backwards K for Zach Diedrich. That's 3 strikeouts and 2 innings of action at the end of 2. Still 6-0 Amherst here at Baldwin Wallace. It's high school baseball coming your way on the Lorain County Sports Network on YouTube. About set to begin the top of the 3rd here at Fisher Field at Baldwin Wallace. Amherst 6, St. Ignatius nothing. Glad to have you with us on the Lorain County Sports Network on YouTube. I'm Andy Bolbarch, Jared Vinecourt, my tag team partner. Duke Anzac producing, Johnny G working the camera today. Sergeant Sunshine was alive and well when we arrived about an hour before this game began. He's hiding behind the clouds now, but it's been windy. We got here taping our papers down, and we had no choice because the winds were gusting up to 30 miles an hour, blowing from our left to our right.
There's supposed to be storms around the 8 o'clock hour, but we should be done by then.
Let's hope. Curveball upstairs, 1-0 on Zach Diedrich. Diedrich helped himself out with a base hit to start the 2nd. They sent all 9 to the plate in that 2nd inning, scoring 5 times. 4 straight hits started the inning. And Diedrich started that string. They had 5 hits altogether in that frame. Next offering line, right side, past the diving Olivares at second. It goes into right field, 2nd hit of the game for Zach Diedrich.
And again, even though Diedrich is a right-handed batter, again, he's taking it the other way. So I think most of the hits Amherst has had today, they're just taking it where it's pitched, and they're taking it the other way. just nice piece of hitting all around for the Steel Comets.
Enter Eli Toyota. Singled in the left his first time through the order. Looks at one upstairs, 1-0.
And you got to wonder here with the 6-run deficit, when do you pull the leash on Logan Raybeck?
Very interesting question. Trying to get him with a backdoor breaking ball, but it did not break, stayed up and away.
Because he's making good pitches, but Amherst is just putting better bats in the balls here in the early going. He's locating in the zone, but Amherst is just hitting it well.
2-0. Swung on and missed. They've got, well, I don't want to call it a food truck. It looks like an ice cream bus situated on the first base side. These guys are no dummies. They're coming out here on the hottest day of the year so far.
They got a waffle cone on the side.
2-1, knocked foul right back to the screen.
Do you think they have any Rocky Road in there?
Oh, I'm sure they've got everything you can think of. Looks like they've got more novelty items, like the Choco Taco.
Well, I haven't seen those in years.
Yeah, strawberry shortcake.
What about this SpongeBob ice cream bar?
Yeah, there you go. We're speaking the same language, my friend. Pickoff attempt at first base, but he gets back safely. Actually, time had been called before that pickoff attempt by the batter, Toyota.
Amherst, they don't really steal that often. As a team coming into today, they only have 47 stolen bases. They don't steal often.
Haven't had to be ultra aggressive today. That one's way up high. Trying to get him to climb the ladder, but Toyota wisely stayed away.
And let's be honest, if you're a team like Amherst, when you're hitting the ball so well, there's no need for you to steal any bases.
Payoff pitch coming. Down low, ball 4. So Toyota heads on down to first. Diedrich will go to second. 2 on, nobody out. Time called here. Coach Gaynor heading out to the mound to have a talk with the battery of Colleran and Raybeck. And the infield's going to join the party as well. We're going to have a pitching change coming up. So we'll go ahead and we'll step aside as they bring a right-hander in. We'll tell you more about him in just a moment. 6-0. Amherst on top of St. Ignatius. 2 on, nobody out. Top of the third on the Lorain County Sports Network. For St. Ignatius, he replaces Logan Raybeck. Raybeck, 2 innings and change. He's responsible for Diedrich at second, Toyota at first. Zayden Rosario is the batter facing John Blazer. Being called on to see to it that this 6-run deficit doesn't get any larger. Rosario with a beautiful bunt base hit back in the second inning. A check towards second, pitch on the way. Up and in, and Rosario gets blunked.
Not the start you were hoping for if you're Blazer.
Rosario's on his way down to first, and now they are loaded for Tyler Den.
And this is how the second inning started. Amherst, they had their first 3 base runners reach with the bases loaded and nobody out, and they took advantage in a hurry.
Blazer, just a freshman. Pitch, fastball called a strike on Tyler Den. Well, this is a heck of a way to come in if you're a freshman.
Facing one of the best teams in the state.
Yeah.
One of the best teams nationally as well.
You get to show what you're made of right out of the chute. He fires. Fastball up and outside. Tyler Dent with a run-scoring single to left in the 5-run second inning for the Comets. Blazer set high, and he unloads. This time he catches the outside corner with a fastball, 1-2.
Great location on that fastball. Really nothing you could do there if you're done.
Pretty good velocity on that heater. They'll set up away here, and the pitch. And that's outside.
That just missed. That was a good location. Good call there by Braden Colleran.
Cole Marquez swinging away in the on-deck circle. Amherst trying to add to what's already a pretty comfortable lead at 6-0. Blazer delivers. He misses up and away again, ball 3.
And good plate discipline here by Tyler Dent, not giving in to Blazer.
Peering in to Braden Colleran. He's got what he wants. Here's the payoff. Swing and a miss. Strike 3. Got him on a high fastball.
Blazer, what a good pitch sequence there to get the strikeout. Elevated the fastball, gets Dent to chase, and gets a huge first out of this inning.
Some outs mean more than others, right? There are momentum shifting outs. That's a really big one, although they're not out of the woods just yet. Here's Cole Marquez. A bases loaded walk back at the second. He swings and he hits this in the air to center field. Jackson Anthony makes the catch. Tagging from third, Diedrich, and he will get there easily. He'll score standing up. Sac fly RBI for Cole Marquez makes it 7-0 Amherst. Well, good heads-up play, too, by Anthony. Realizing he wasn't going to get Diedrich at the plate, so he threw to third to make sure that Eli Toyota stayed at second base. Here's Cole Charles. 2 hits already for him. Knee-high fastball, strike 1 called.
And Cole Charles, he really had the opening hit to make this a big lead for Amherst with a 2-run double his last time up.
0-1, here it comes. Just off the inside corner to even things up. Base hit ripped back up the middle in the first inning for Charles. And then the double to center field that plated 2 more. 1-1 incoming. This is grounded down to first, fielded there by Jacob Murheb. He'll take it to the bag, and that'll end the inning. Tremendous display of damage control by John Blazer to minimize the damage and hold Amherst to just a run when they had bases loaded and nobody out. 7-0, Comets on top of St. Ignatius halfway through the third on the Lorain County Sports Network. Halfway through the third, Amherst 7, St. Ignatius nothing. On the Lorain County Sports Network on YouTube, glad to have all of you with us today. Andy Bullbarch and Jared Vinecourt on the call. The guys doing the hard work, our producer Duke Ansik, and we've got Johnny G working the camera. Top of the order due up for the Wildcats, Ryan Whalen, Jackson Anthony, and Braden Colleran. Big shout out to our sponsors, For making this possible today, Spitzer Auto World in Amherst. At Spitzer, our world revolves around you. Lang Optical in Elyria. That's Lang Optical. See the difference. Brian Baker, proud supporter of Lorain County High School sports. Dovin and Reber Jones Funeral Home and Cremation Center. And Great Lakes Honda West in Elyria. Whalen with a free pass his first time up. Takes a fastball high. Pitch count was at 34 for Zach Diedrich at the end of 2. And they were hoping to get 3 innings. And right around 50 pitches from him today. Curveball swung on and popped him up. Into shallow right. Wolf backing up at first base. Called off by the second baseman, Eli Toyota, who makes the catch. And, Jared, there's nothing easy about plays like that today when that wind is gusting up to 30 miles an hour.
Yeah, the wind is coming in from left field, so it's pushing towards the first base side. And that was a great concentration there by Toyota to get the first out of the inning.
Here's Jackson Anthony. Center fielder. Base hit. A hot shot down to third base at Harrison Schneider. Curveball misses away.
And if Dietrich has a quick inning, he possibly could go on to start the 4th. You said 33 pitches. He only needed 2 pitches to retire Whalen.
Fastball called a strike. 7-0. Amherst on top of St. Ignatius here in the 3rd. Wildcats have nobody on and 1 away. Diedrich in his first start of the season hammers the outside half of the plate with a strike. It's 1-2.
Pretty good location there with that fastball.
That's exactly what I was going to say. 1-2. Breaking ball lifted into left center field. Marquez and Den both going after it. It's the left fielder, Cole Marquez, who runs it down.
And Zach Dietrich, he looks like he's in control, in command on the mound. And I'm surprised that he hasn't started this season because he looks like a starter to me here today against St. Ignatius.
Came in with great numbers. 7 relief appearances, no wins or losses, ERA of $1.20 and a save. Facing Braden Colleran. First pitch to him is outside.
And he could potentially get into a role where he's a middle reliever towards the playoffs possibly, with how well he's doing today.
Came in just shy of 12 innings in those 7 relief outings. Fastball on the inner half for a strike. We mentioned Colleran playing at Kent State. An outstanding Mid-American Conference baseball program. Always in that MAC tournament every single year. And they will be one of the 6 coming to Avon in just a couple of days.
It's going to be a great tournament.
It's always a lot of fun. Curveball bounced foul down the first baseline.
They just had the MAC tournament for softball. That was a great tournament as well. That was down in Akron, I believe.
Firestone? Is that where they had it?
I think so, yes.
Okay. Seems like a natural spot for it.
Yeah.
Good location. Ground ball hit sharply towards second. Toyota will dig it up and dish to first, and the inning is over. A 1-2-3 third turned in by Zach Diedrich. He's looked very good so far today through a trio of innings. We head to the 4th, still 7-0 Amherst on the Lorain County Sports Network. batters due up for Amherst in the top of the 4th inning. Cooper Bingham, Landon Wolf, and Harrison Schneider. The scheduled 3 to face John Blazer. Jared, wonderful work done by the freshman. He came out in the 3rd inning, 2 on, nobody out, hit a batter. Then he struck out Tyler Den. Cole Marquez flew out to center. It was a sacrifice fly to bring home a run. And then he got Cole Charles to ground out Jacob Murheb at first base.
It's just exactly what the doctor ordered if you're St. Ignatius to stay into this ball game, and he did a great job of getting out of that situation in the 3rd.
So here's Cooper Bingham. RBI ground out in the 2nd, first time up, sent to single through the right side of the infield. The pitch to him stays upstairs, a ball. It's typically a spot in the zone where you do not want to miss, especially against a guy like Cooper Bingham. The next one is shot through the opposite that direction, base hit. He goes the opposite way, sending a single through the left side. Second base hit of the game for Cooper Bingham.
Perfectly placed right through the hole on the left side between 3rd base and short. And Amherst with their leadoff man aboard once again here to start the 4th.
And again, these are no excuse me base hits. You know, we don't have the advanced metrics on these, but these are coming off the bat very hard.
Yeah, we don't have StatCast, but at least close to 100 miles per hour for sure.
First pitch to Wolf is taken away. We'll have to talk to top men and women at the station about that, see if maybe we can make that a part of the broadcast moving forward.
The StatCast?
Yeah, I'm sure that won't cost much. See if we can get a sponsor to cover that.
We should get a ray gun or a radar gun at least.
I like that.
Because I am curious how fast both teams' pitchers are throwing today. I mean, both of them have thrown the fastballs hard, good locations from both teams. At least, I would say, 85, 90 miles per hour around there.
Yeah, some pretty good pop. Blazer deals. He gets the outer half for a strike. 1-1 on Landon Wolf, son of athletic director Casey Wolf. Always great to work with Casey anytime we're over at Amherst. Always gracious hosts for football and basketball games. Of course, they've got a brand spanking new football stadium that they totally revamped this past summer. The pitch, up and away, ball 2. Wolf will be playing at Ashland in the GMAC.
What a great program Ashland has. He's going to have a great college career there.
A long pause in the stretch. Next pitch is a breaking ball called a strike. The GMAC's got some really good programs. A lot of the old GLIAC schools, the Ohio GLIAC schools, all kind of made that move into the GMAC. Blazer deals. This is fouled back to the screen.
And Findlay, they actually lost, I believe, in the GMAC championship this year to Kentucky Wesleyan, if I'm not mistaken. That was a great series, too, because if I'm not mistaken, if Kentucky Wesleyan won that tournament, they were down in every game, and they came back and won every game, including against Findlay.
Kentucky Wesleyan down in Owensboro, Kentucky. Runner goes in the pitch, fouled back to the backstop. As a matter of fact, they're talking about potentially putting a Frontier League team in Owensboro, Kentucky. Did a football league game there a long, long time ago, 15 years back. Nice little spot. It gets really hot and really humid down there.
Is it by the border of Cincy or Kentucky? Where is that?
It's further west.
Okay,
further west.
Gotcha.
Hang on a second here. I think time was called. It was a breaking ball, and I think Blazer heard the umpire call for time. So he kind of stopped about 3/4 of the way through his motion before sending that to the plate.
Instead of excuse me check swing, it was an excuse me breaking ball.
Well, they did send Bingham earlier. We'll see if they cut him loose again. The pitch to Wolf. Fouled back one more time. Boy, what a battle here by Landon Wolf coming up on the 8th pitch of this encounter.
And he's just spoiling good pitches by Blazer. That was a high fastball that was borderline, and Wolf did a good job of fouling it off.
Well, earlier this year, Landon Wolf actually inherited the catching duties when Rosario was on the shelf. About 14 games he served as the catcher. That's a tough void to fill.
Absolutely.
3-2, fouled off one more time. Staying alive. He's fouled off the last 4 pitches.
And this is a tough guy to get out. We mentioned it earlier, broke the all-time RBI record, but surprisingly, Wolf still hitless today.
A strikeout and a ground out to Jacob Merheb at first base. 1 on, nobody out still. Top 4, 7-0 Amherst. Breaking ball swung on, line to the right field. That'll get down for a base hit. Bingham will stop at second. Landon Wolf has hit number 1 today. He wins a 9-pitch battle with a single to right.
And all of Amherst's hits today, except for 1, have been singles. Only 1 extra base hit today, which is really unfathomable considering how much power Amherst has in this lineup.
The extra base hit that Jared referenced, a 2-run double off the bat of Cole Charles, part of their 5-run second. First pitch popped up, foul territory, first base side. That'll get out of play in the general vicinity of that ice cream bus that was set up shop.
Oh, it went away.
Yeah, I gave him a free plug and he took off.
Oh, that's not fair.
Thought I was getting a Choco Taco out of the deal. I scared him off.
You know how we do the hot dog testing for football? We should
Yeah.
do the ice cream testing for baseball.
Oh, man, you're on to something there. Next pitch hit in the air. Shallow center field coming on in center to make the catch. Jackson Anthony makes the grab on the run. Throws behind the runner at second, but it doesn't get there in time. Harrison Schneider underneath that one a bit. Anthony did a good job of tracking that down, racing to his right, and we have 1 down. Jared, that's a nice bounce back out for John Blazer. After losing a 9-pitch battle on a single, he gets a really good batter, Harrison Schneider, on 2 pitches.
Just what you need to get his pitch count back in order.
Diedrich at the plate, 2 for 2 with a pair of base hits. He hits this in the air, foul, third base side, and that'll get out of play. Well, there is a lot of foul territory here at Fisher Field.
And that's one thing you have to take into consideration when playing here at Fisher Field, because other high school fields, they don't have this much foul ground. So home field advantage is really playing part for St. Ignatius here today and has been for all season.
Diedrich not only has singled twice, but he's scored twice as well. Waiting on the 0-1. He hits this in the air towards right center field. Anthony and Whalen both going after it. The center fielder, Anthony, makes the catch. They throw behind the runner at second, but it's offline. A.J. Peluso, the third baseman, backing up the throw. Did a good job of coming over to retrieve that. But Jared, it sure looked like they had Cooper Bingham dead to rights if that throw had been on the mark.
They did. The throw is just wide of the shortstop, Marcus Takancic, and an unfortunate miscommunication there by St. Ignatius.
2 down. Bingham at second base, Landon Wolf at first. Here's Eli Toyota. In the 7th spot, he's reached twice on a base hit and a walk. The pitch, curveball cut out and missed for strike 1.
I think this is the first time we've seen Blazer in this inning go first pitch curveball. He's been attacking hitters early with the fastball since coming in for relief.
Tell you what, he doesn't handle himself like a freshman in a situation like this. He's pitched pretty well. Breaking ball again, swing and a miss.
Doing a good job of locating that breaking ball, fooling Toyota, and he was sitting fastball all the way, just a tad early on that one.
Shortstop Takancic, shadowing Bingham at second. Runners go, the pitch, this is hit in the air towards left center field. Anthony dives and can't come up with it. He was able to knock it down. That'll score a run. Bingham comes home. A 2-out RBI single for Eli Toyota, and it's 8-0 Comets.
Great effort there by Anthony, but there was really nothing he could have done more on that play, and Amherst adds on.
That's a bit of a gut punch because not only does it make it 8-0, that came on an 0-2 pitch. They had the wheels in motion, making it pretty easy for Bingham to score. And Wolf goes from first to third. Comets have runners at the corners. And 2 gone still for Zayden Rosario. Blazer offers up. Fastball called, strike one. Bunt single for Rosario in the second. He was hit by a pitch in the third. He was the first batter that Blazer faced when he entered in the third inning. It's fought off foul, first base side. Coach Rossitano said that Rosario has been timed at 1.7 seconds down to second base from home plate. 1.7.
That's crazy.
Runner goes, fastball high, throw to second base is in time or no? Yes, no? I don't think he got him.
And I'm not sure what the call is.
I wasn't either. He never really gave us an indication one way or the other. And now Coach Gaynor coming out to get an explanation. It almost looked like, Jared, he was looking to see if he had the ball. But based on the reaction we're getting from Coach Gaynor, it looks like he called him safe at second base.
There must have been obstruction at second base. I'm not 100% sure. The field umpire did not give an obstruction signal, rather. So I'm assuming that was the call, obstruction, and you give the runner the bag at that point. So maybe as Takancic and Olivares collided, they were in the run path of Toyota. That's the only thing I can think of. But again, the field umpire never signaled it.
Yeah, it was a little confusing from our perspective. A lot of Wildcat faithful behind us. Certainly thought he was out. Safe is the call. And they'll break up the meeting on the mound with runners on second and third. Landon Wolf stayed put at third. It's a 1-2 count on Zayden Rosario. They're getting a lot of production from the bottom of the order. 6 through 9 has been on 6 times. Swing and a miss, strike 3, got him. Put him away with a fastball, and that will do it for Amherst in the fourth. But they do plate another run. 2-out RBI base hit from Eli Toyota makes it 8-0 Comets halfway through the fourth. This is the Lorain County Sports Network on YouTube. Nothing Amherst. Here in the bottom half of the fourth inning, Zach Diedrich. 3 innings of work today. He did a masterful job keeping St. Ignatius off the board. He's still going to stay in the game to hit, but he will be replaced on the mound by right-hander Brody Glick.
Brody Glick making his 10th appearance on the season, a record of 4-1 in 20 innings of work. He's given up 11 hits, 12 runs, 9 of those earned. He's walked 15 and has struck out 28 with an ERA at 3.15.
Final line for Diedrich. 3 innings, no runs, 2 walks, 3 strikeouts. The hit can be debated. That was a hot shot to Harrison Schneider at third. Not exactly sure how that would be scored. Harrison Schneider would probably tell you, that's on me, should be an error. If it's a hit, it's the only one of the game for St. Ignatius.
And you know both teams are going to score that differently in the scorebook.
100%.
So it's not definitive base hit or an error. But we'll see how Brody Glick does here in his warm-up pitches. A little wild for the Steel Comets. He has hit 4 batters this season. That's the most on this Amherst Steel Comets pitching staff. So we'll see how he does coming in for relief for Dietrich, trying to shut down the Wildcats at bats.
Things have gone according to plan for Amherst so far. They wanted Dietrich for 3 innings. They got it. Not just 3 innings. He was terrific through 3. Worked his way out of trouble in the first inning. After that, he didn't have many issues whatsoever. Brody Glick in too tight with a breaking ball. He plunks Jacob Merheb to start the 4th.
That's exactly what we talked about. And just like the stat sheet read, Merheb awarded first base on the hit by pitch.
Leadoff man is on. Here comes Jack Quinn, the DH. He flew out to center field in the 1st. Glick set chest high. The pitch is outside and low. Gets by the catcher Rosario. Goes all the way to the backstop. And that'll put Merheb on second. Well, there were a number of arms they were planning on using in today's game because it was scheduled to be a bullpen day for Amherst. At some point, we expect to see Harrison Schneider. I think the plan is to close the game with him a little bit later. Good looking curveball falls into the zone for a strike.
It'll be interesting to see how they play this out because Amherst, they want to play a few more games before their first playoff game against Max S. Hayes, the 31 seed.
Off speed high, 2 balls and a strike.
Amherst, assuming they win that game, they'll take on either the 16th seed Steubenville Falls or the 20th seed Eastlake North.
Glick with a check to second before stepping off the rubber. Well, this is a big week for both teams as they tune up and try and get ready for next week. Long pause in the stretch. They'll throw behind the runner at second base, and they almost got him. Cooper Bingham snuck in behind the base runner Jacob Merheb, who was able to get his hand on the bag just in time.
And did you see what Zayden Rosario did behind home plate? He put down his glove in the dirt to indicate to Brody Glick that he should throw over to second. A lot of more catchers are doing that now, especially at the MLB level.
2-1. Inside ball 3. Oh, dare I say, it's actually cooled off a little bit.
A little bit. I don't think you need that bucket hat anymore.
Probably not.
It's just comfy.
It's styling, man. I just bought this thing the other day. Thankfully, the clouds have rolled in. Fastball high, and that's ball 4. So Jack Quinn works a 5-pitch walk. 2 on and nobody out for St. Ignatius. The left fielder, Finn Barman, making his way into the batter's box.
And alertly, Amherst, they have a right-hander warming up in the bullpen. Can't get a number, but they do have a righty warming up in the bullpen. That's what's nice about Fisher Field is you can actually see the bullpens.
Yeah. At high school fields, it's a total toss-up. Sometimes they can be warming up in the parking lot. You just never know. Breaking ball gets the back door for a strike on Barman. Well, they were anticipating having to use Xander Hopkins at some point today. And as we mentioned, Schneider at some point trying to piece this thing together. Swing and a miss for strike 2. Buried that one down and in on Barman.
Good pitch location there by Glick.
He's backed himself into a bit of a corner here. Merheb at second, Quinn at first, nobody out, but he's ahead of Barman, 0-2. Comes to the plate, ground ball chopped foul through the third base coach's box.
Almost got a piece of Gainer.
When I caught up with Coach earlier this morning, he wasn't quite sure who he was going to start in left field. He's platooned about 3 different guys out there throughout the season, and he said this week we're trying to find out who fits. And it's not just at left field. He said this is going to be a big week for us. They've got 4 games scheduled this week. And he said, you know, we want to get out of the habit of platooning at this point in the season. We want to know who's going to stick or solidify in the order.
Got to find out who's going to be that playoff starter for you.
Another 0-2. Outside and low. So, I mean, that makes these really big games for St. Ignatius. I mentioned they'll take on Elyria. First round of the playoffs next week. Brody Glick, ready, chest high. And he lets the 1-2 fly. It's outside again.
St. Ignatius, they're going to have some big games coming up. They're going to face Riverside in a couple days. Amherst just faced Riverside. They beat them 5-2, and they're going to take on Menor as well. Menor is actually on the other side of their bracket in the playoffs.
Ground ball hit back up the middle. It's bobbled at second by Toyota. He recovers to flip to the bag with a shortstop. Bingham is standing to record the force out. So they retired Jack Quinn at second base. Merheb goes from second to third. Barman reaches on the fielder's choice. The Wildcats have men at the corners and one away for Marcus Takancic.
And this is the best scoring opportunity St. Ignatius has had since the first inning.
Takancic drew a 4-pitch free pass back of the second. Trying to scratch one across in a game where they've fallen behind 8-0 here in the bottom of the fourth. Glick in his first inning of action. Fastball for a strike. Brody Glick trying to work his way out of this jam. The next one is fouled away to the right. Was asking Coach Rossitano about how he thinks they've done statistically this season. What really stands out. He said, look, they've pitched pretty well. He thought that the walks per 7 were maybe a little high, but he said, it was a trade-off because the strikeouts per 7 innings also pretty high. Breaking ball inside, and did that get a piece of him? No, home plate umpire says it did not get Takancic. He did a good job trying to sell it.
Yeah, and some players do try to sell it, but it doesn't fool the umpires. You got to go with that gut instinct. There's no video review, so you have to go based off that gut instinct.
So it's a ball and 2 strikes. A.J. Peluso waits in the on-deck circle. Glick delivers. It's fought off foul to the right again. All the walks per 7 he thought were a little high, but again, the trade-off with the strikeouts per 7 also being high. They're getting about 10 strikeouts per 7 innings pitched. They've been pretty darn good. They're getting better defensively as well. Hard to argue with the results at 18-3. Knocking on the door of another SWC championship. Fouled right back toward the backstop.
And their only SWC loss was to North Ridgeville. So other than that, they've been perfect in the SWC.
Get a chance to claim a conference crown. Weather permitting, tomorrow and Wednesday they're scheduled to play against Avon Lake. 1-2 one more time. Runner takes off for second. The pitch is swung on and missed. Picked up by the catcher Rosario. And he has no play at first base. So it's a drop third strike that allows Takancic to reach.
Well, he won't reach, actually, because first base was occupied because Barman was stealing second. So they're going to call him out.
Okay. Well, I thought that was the case, but based on the reaction we got, I wasn't quite sure. Let's see, you're the resident umpire on this broadcast crew, so I'm always going to lean on you for that.
I was waiting for them to call it, and then they finally did.
I think the home plate umpire wore the worst of that. And that's maybe why he did not call that, because now the trainer has come out to take a look for St. Ignatius at the home plate umpire to make sure he's okay. He fist bumps the trainer and says he's all right.
That trainer is tall.
In the meantime, Coach Rossitano having a conference at the mound, giving the umpire as much time as he needs to recover. Chance for us to say thanks to our sponsors again, Spitzer Auto World in Amherst. Laying Optical in Elyria, Brian Baker. Also Dobin and Reaver Jones Funeral Home, and Great Lakes Honda West in Elyria. enter A.J. Peluso. Men on second and third and 2 down. Glick fires, and he misses low for a ball. That was the 20th pitch of the inning. He's thrown 11 strikes. Glick replacing Zach Diedrich. Tough act to follow, 3 scoreless innings. It's up high, and he's behind 2-0. Well, the wind has really died down, too. We'll get an occasional gust, but before this game began, it felt like we were in the middle of a monsoon.
A little bit.
Fastball up high, ball 3.
And I honestly don't think Brody Glick is worried about this batter. I would think he's just going to put Peluso on and try to get a fielder's choice any way he can and face the 9-hitter.
This inning began when he hit Jacob Murhead with a pitch. He then walked Jack Quinn, who was retired at second when Barman reached on a fielder's choice. Then he struck out Marcus Takancic. It's down and outside, ball 4. A 4-pitch walk will load him up for the 9-hole hitter, Yadian Olivares. And time called here. Coach Rossitano is headed out to the mound. And he's going to make a change. So we'll tell you about the change in just a moment. We'll step aside and take a quick timeout and come back with the rest of the 4th inning. After this, it's the Lorain County Sports Network on YouTube. 8-0 Amherst, bottom of the 4th. St. Ignatius with the bases loaded and 2 down. They'll face a new Comet pitcher. Xander Hopkins replaces Brody Glick.
Hopkins making his 4th appearance on the season, has just pitched 3 innings, has given up 1 hit, hasn't given up any runs, has walked 1 and struck out 3. So I got to imagine Hopkins is just going to get the final out of the inning, and that'll be it. But we'll see how he does against Yadian Olivares.
Olivares went down looking his first time up. This has been really the best chance St. Ignatius has had to score, although they did have 2 on and nobody out in the first inning. When Zach Diedrich worked his way out of that with a strikeout and 2 flyouts. Well, his final line just terrific, and Brody Glick just had a difficult time finding the strike zone in the 2/3 of this 4th inning, hoping that Xander Hopkins can put this inning away. And it looked like Hopkins saw something he didn't like, so now he'll jump back on the rubber there and communicate with Zayden Rosario. He'll work from the stretch, pitch on the way. Check swing sent back to the screen, foul.
I'm surprised Hopkins is working from the stretch. You have the bases loaded. You can go from the windup if you choose. But mainly an infielder for Amherst, so try and get this final out of the inning.
0-1, way upstairs. Jared had talked about those numbers. He hasn't pitched a whole lot. Just 3 other appearances and trying to maintain this 8-0 lead. He misses way outside. Rosario, boy, pretty nifty. Just being a sophomore. Able to move pretty well laterally behind the plate. Getting into the left-handed hitting side of that batter's box to make a nice backhand pick. High fastball. It's 3-1. nowhere to put Oliveris. Ryan Whalen hoping for a chance in the on-deck circle. Up and away, ball 4. Oliveris with a bases-loaded walk that will score St. Ignatius' first run of the game. Merhab will come home, and that makes it 8-1.
Great job by Ignatius to get on the board.
Well, that's a patient approach at the bottom. And Oliveris didn't see many strikes. 5-pitch at bat, fouled away the first one, then saw 4 straight balls. Here's Ryan Whalen. He swings and he sends that foul.
I don't know if they got a piece of Rosario and the umpire or just Rosario.
Hard to tell. We're shielded by them both, so it made it tough for us to see. But those are never fun, even if it is 89 or 87, whatever it is now. Breaking ball didn't miss by much. It's called ball 1. Xander Hopkins trying to stop the bleeding here in the 4th. He delivers. Hit in the air, foul ground third base side. Marquez and Schneider going after it. Marquez dives and he made the catch. Oh, what a grab by Cole Marquez. Tons of ground to cover in foul territory, made a sensational diving grab, and that will end the inning. So St. Ignatius will leave them loaded. However, they do get their first run of the game. Yadigan Oliveris with a bases-loaded walk makes it 8-1 at the end of 4. This is Lorain County High School baseball on the Lorain County Sports Network. Top of the 5th inning here at Fisher Field in Baldwin Wallace. St. Ignatius trailing Amherst 8-1. 9-1, 2 batters due up for the Comets here in the top of the 5th. Tyler Dent, Cole Marquez, and Colt Charles to face John Blazer. Freshman in 2 innings of action has done a pretty nice job, surrendering only a run so far. Fastball up and away for a ball on Tyler Dent, who stroked an opposite field run-scoring single back in the 2nd. John Blazer's 1-0 pitch down around the shoe tops of Dent for ball 2.
Even though Amherst has a comfortable lead, we'll see how they respond for the first time today. Ignatius scoring a run.
That one's hit hard, but it's hit directly at Jackson Anthony in center field, who makes the catch. He saw a good pitch to hit on a 2-0 count, but he sent it right at Jackson Anthony, who didn't have to go too far to put that one away. Back to the top of the order for Amherst, Cole Marquez, digging in for the 4th time this evening. Breaking ball to him, called a strike.
And we just saw Marquez make that amazing sliding, diving catch in foul ground in left field, and he's had 2 great catches today.
Taps one foul, and you know, look, it's 8-1. So you can sit here and debate how big that was. Well, let me tell you, he doesn't catch that. There's extra life for a team that had the bases loaded, and they really could have tipped the scales and altered the complexion of the game. That misses outside. 1 ball, 2 strikes on Marquez.
And the catch he made in the 1st inning, there was runners on 2nd and 1st with only 1 out. So that could have changed the complexity of the game as well.
And that was sent deep toward the corner. He hits this in the air, down the line and left. It's going to be a long run in left field for Barman. He can't get to it, but it lands foul. That was a lot closer than I thought. When that ball was first hit, I thought that was going to be foul for sure, but that really tight-roped that left field line.
There's no more wind to knock it down because the wind's died down from left field.
It's died down a lot. And I was expecting to have to hold on for dear life, not only to our papers, but our broadcast equipment, the table, maybe the ice cream truck. Curveball grounded foul, first base side. Protect that ice cream bus at all costs. I say that now, they bailed on us.
Yeah.
2 innings ago.
I wanted my waffle cone.
We were way too late putting in our order. 1-2. Pops it up behind home plate, and that's going to land on top of the St. Ignatius dugout, situated on the third base side of Fisher Field.
Can you imagine like eating a sundae as you call a game?
No.
I don't think I've ever done that before. It's like the Little League World Series where they try a bunch of different foods from a bunch of different countries. That is very challenging.
Yeah, how do you do that? Your mouth's full when, well, it kind of can't be to do what we do. Popped up, foul ground again, third base side. On the run, A.J. Peluso. He reaches up, and he made the catch. What a grab by Peluso. Again, there's all kinds of room and foul ground on the third base side. He used every last bit of it to make the grab near the shrubs out there.
He literally used every inch of foul ground. He knows this ballpark so well. It makes a nice catch for the second out.
Blazer endures a 7-pitch battle. Nobody on, 2 out for Cole Charles. Charles takes one down low. Cole Charles, base hit. 2-run double back of the second. Also a bounce out to first base. Same spot, low went in too tight, ball 2. They've gotten some really good innings out of John Blazer. He fires. This one's hit on a hop to second, fielded there by Olivares. Nice play. They will throw out Charles at second to end the inning. A 1-2-3 5th inning for John Blazer, and that marks the first time that Amherst has gone in order today. Still 8-1 Comets halfway through the 5th inning. It's Lorain County High School baseball on the Lorain County Sports Network on YouTube. Home half of the 5th inning, 8-1 Amherst here at Fisher Field at Baldwin Wallace. 2, 3, and 4 spots due up for St. Ignatius. Jackson Anthony, Braden Colleran, and Jacob Merheb facing Xander Hopkins. Hopkins in his second inning of action. He was able to get the final out in the 4th, which is where St. Ignatius scored their lone run when Yadi and Olivares walked with the bases loaded. But then he got Ryan Whalen fly out into foul territory in left field. Cole Marquez with a sensational sliding catch to end that bases-loaded threat. Xander Hopkins only faced a couple of batters in the 4th inning. He misses low one away for a ball. Throwing just 8 pitches in the 4th. Walked Olivares, and then he got Whalen on that flyout.
His longest outing this season's a year or an inning, so we'll see how long he goes.
He's outside with a fastball, 2-0. I asked Coach Gaynor today about, what stands out to him when he looked at the stats. We'll get to that after the next pitch. This is chopped down to third. Schneider plays it on a chest-high hop, throws over to first base, and they get it there just in time to get Jackson Anthony. Well, he was flying down that first baseline.
And that's a play you don't like if you're Schneider at third base, having to wait back in a ball. You don't really have a choice. But he did a good job of firing the ball over to first in time to get the out.
When Coach Gaynor was talking about those stats, he said, look, what stands out to me, the wins and losses. Spoken like a true coach, right? You know, at 9 and 11, he said, look, this just isn't a position that we're used to being in as a program. Colleran lays off one upstairs, 1-0. But I think there's something to be said for the teams that they've played along the way. And he said, I purposely loaded up that schedule with some really good competition to get our guys ready. Fastball, just tied, 2 balls, no strikes.
That's what's great about the postseason. The records don't matter. It's a new season. You're 0-0 again. So I'd rather have a tough schedule and be 500 than have a weak schedule and only have 1 loss in the season.
This is skied out of play, third base side. And you're right, especially in baseball, right? I think softball can certainly fall into this category too. Not many remember what you did in April, or if you were lucky enough to play in March.
Right.
They remember what you did in May. And just because they're 9 and 11 doesn't mean that they can't gel and start playing their best baseball this week or next, which is when you want to start clicking. Here's the 2-1 from Hopkins. That's high again, ball 3.
We just had the Firelands Falcons and Columbia for softball last week, and the Firelands Falcons, they were a 22 seed, and their record was like 4-12, and they won their first playoff game last week. So it just goes to show, postseason's a different game.
This is hammered in a deep right field. Charles goes back, looks up, and gives up. It's gone. Braden Colleran with a towering solo shot over the wall in right field. And that will bring the Wildcats a little bit closer, trailing 8-2 here in the 5th inning. That was a no-doubter off the bat of Braden Colleran.
That was a BB.
Sitting on a 3-1 pitch, he did not miss it. Here's the cleanup batter, Jacob Merheb. Merheb 0 for 1 with a fly out to left, and he was hit by a pitch. Fastball outside, 1-0.
Colleran, that's his first home run of the season as well.
Xander Hopkins set below the belt, sends in the next one. Breaking ball down and away. Coach Gaynor was also talking about how, like, throughout the season, you know, high school kids can be a little bit unpredictable. You're kind of riding that wave of success and failure. Fastball called, strike 1. And again, because they've kind of been up and down throughout the course of the year, that's been a bit of a roller coaster ride. Heater outside and low, ball 3. And I think, you know, we always go back to this when you talk about two teams like this. You know, programs that have a good track record of success. Fastball called a strike, and that'll stuff the count full on Merheb. You know, a lot of times you can't take that record and throw it out the window. Coach Rossitano said the exact same thing. Payoff pitch, ground ball hit over to third. A nice stop by Harrison Schneider on a one-hop smash. Throws to first, and they will get it there in time. What a play by Schneider. The true definition of a one-hop smash.
What a stretch by Wolf as well. He basically did the splits over there at first base. That hurt just watching. Great flexibility there by Wolf.
Quinn, the batter, looks at one up and away. Made his way aboard in the walk of the 4th. Flew out to center field his first time up. I don't know about you, but I was never that flexible. Could never do the splits like that at
I
first
can't even
base.
touch my toes.
Join the club. High fastball, 2-0. It only gets worse. You're still in your 20s, man. Wait till you get in your 40s. You start having problems where you can't touch your knees.
I already have bad knees, so that doesn't help.
A heater called a strike.
I'm going to need to take those fish oil things for my joints or
Right,
something.
Man. Yeah, those omega-3s.
Yeah, that's what they're called?
Yeah.
Those are fancy words.
2-1. Popped him up, foul ground behind us, way out of play. Well, then again, as a wrestler, right, you didn't have to touch your toes. You never really had to get that low, did you?
There's some times where you want to be flexible to avoid getting taken down.
Fair enough. But that was never a problem with you, was it?
Yes and no, depending on the match.
Fastball up high. You do a nice job with that wrestling report every week, too, during the wintertime, man. Always enjoy that.
Oh, thank you.
Wrestling season always goes by fast.
Yeah.
Payoff pitch. Swung on and hit pretty well in the left field. Cole Marquez drifting back. He has a great beat on it. He'll reach up and put it away, and the inning is over. Wildcats scratch one more across here in the 5th inning, and a towering solo shot over the wall off the bat of Braden Colleran. That makes it 8-2 at the end of 5. This is Lorain County High School baseball on the Lorain County Sports Network. Top half of the 6th, it's 8-2 Amherst leading St. Ignatius. Wildcats have a new pitcher on the slab, a left-hander, Trey Powers, and he is scheduled to face the Amherst 3, 4, and 5 batters, Cooper Bingham, Landon Wolf, and Harrison Schneider. Powers will take over for John Blazer. Nice job done by the freshman. In 3 innings of action, he was able to hold Amherst in check. He allowed just a run, and that came on a base hit from Eli Toyota with 2 down back in the 4th inning. But other than that, Jared, a real nice job done by Blazer.
A real nice job, able to keep St. Ignatius in this ball game, and 2 runs of their own, and Powers looks to keep the train rolling on the mound.
And again, he faces the heart of the Amherst batting order. Really the story in this one for Amherst, that 5-run 2nd inning. They scored a handful of runs on a handful of hits. RBI single for Tyler Den. A bases loaded walk issue to Cole Marquez. Cole Charles with the backbreaker in that inning, a 2-run double. And then Cooper Bingham brought in the final run of the frame on an RBI groundout. Things have cooled off a little bit here. We had 87 degrees. And we had partly cloudy skies when we started. But again, a lot of cloud cover has moved in, taking the sun out of the equation.
The rain, unfortunately, is coming.
First pitch is low and in for a ball on Cooper Bingham. Well, we invite you to stick around when this game is over for Dovin and Reber Jones Funeral Home and Cremation Center post-game show. We'll pick out our player of the game, brought to you by Lang Optical as well. Fastball down and outside, ball 2. More games coming your way a little bit later on this week on the Lorain County Sports Network. You've got one scheduled, weather permitting, on Saturday, right?
Yes, North Ridgeville. Hopefully that one gets played. North Ridgeville has turf, so might just be a delay instead of a cancellation, hopefully.
Fastball call to strike. Saturday's a big day, man. My kid's 6th birthday party.
Oh, happy
He's all
birthday.
excited, man, yeah. 2-1. This is lined opposite way over a leaping A.J. Peluso at third. Into left field it goes for a base hit. knocked down in left field by Finn Barman, and that'll be enough to keep Bingham at first with his third hit of the game.
Amherst looking to add a little bit more insurance here in the 6th.
Well, I look forward to hearing you on the call on Saturday over at North Ridgeville. Who's working with you that day? Any idea?
I believe it is Max, but I'm not 100% sure. But Thursday, or Saturday rather, it's Firelands versus North Ridgeville. It's another Lorain County battle. That'll be nice. Had Firelands earlier this year against Rocky River, so be nice to see the Falcons again and North Ridgeville again as well, because we had them earlier in the year against Avon Lake.
Firelands is usually pretty strong come tournament time. Always battle tested. Powers out of the stretch, the pitch on the way to Wolf. He swings, and he skies this one. Foul territory, third base side. Colleran, the catcher, watches that one sail out of play. I think the last Firelands playoff game I called was at Bowling Green back in 2018.
Oh,
but
wow.
It wasn't on campus, though. They actually played that game at the city park next to campus.
Firelands, they've actually played a lot more games than North Ridgeville this season. Firelands is currently 11-13. North Ridgeville is 11-8. So
they've played 24 games?
According to Max Preps, yes.
Wow. That's a heck of a spring. To get to a double dozen up here is pretty impressive.
Yeah.
Heater catches the outside corner, strike 2.
Well, you look at Amherst, we talked about it earlier. They're trying to get games in. They played 27 a year ago, and they're currently at 21. So I'm sure they would like to play a little bit more before the playoffs start.
And getting ready for next week. Throw over to first base, but Bingham gets back easily. Landon Wolf, the Amherst all-time career leader in runs driven in. 1 for 3 today with a single to right field. Has a chance to be the first Comet to reach 100 career RBIs. He swings and misses at a high fastball, strike 3. Trey Powers able to put him away with some high gas. 1 gone for Harrison Schneider.
Good location there by Powers to get the first out of the inning.
Schneider expected a pitch at the next level at Bowling Green.
And he's the lone Amherst Steel Comet without a hit.
A couple of flyouts to center and a strikeout as well. He'll take 1 down low for a ball.
I misspoke. Cole Marquez still is without a hit. Other than that, everyone else in the Amherst lineup has at least 1 hit.
Marquez has driven in 2 of the 8 Amherst runs. 1-0 offering, ground ball hit toward third, picked up by Peluso, goes to second for 1. The relay to first is in time, double play. Powers induces an inning-ending 5-4-3 twin killing, wiping away the effect of that leadoff single from Cooper Bingham. Trey Powers faces just the minimum here in the 6th inning, 5.5 in the books, 8-2. Amherst on top of St. Ignatius on the Lorain County Sports Network. Amherst 8, St. Ignatius 2. Last of the 6th inning, a new pitcher into the game, Nick Wilkinson, a southpaw, scheduled to face the 6, 7, 8 batters for St. Ignatius, Finn Barman, Marcus Takancic, and A.J. Peluso. Andy Bullbarch joined alongside Jared Vinecourt to call this one for you. Duke Anzac, our producer, Johnny G, working the camera. Want to remind you, weather permitting, we have other games coming up later on this week on YouTube on the Lorain County Sports Network. Tomorrow we've got softball coming your way, Elyria Catholic at Midview at 5 o'clock. Thursday, more softball action, Columbia at Firelands with a 5 o'clock first pitch. And then, of course, on Saturday, my tag team partner, Jared Vinecourt, will have the call for you with Firelands traveling to North Ridgeville at 11 a.m. A nice job done by Duke Anzac to find that for us. Now we just need Mother Nature to cooperate so we can get all of those games in the rest of the week.
I'm tired of rain, Andy. Tired of rain. I feel like I'm at a water park, and it's just a never-ending water park. If I wanted to go to a water park, I would go into Great Wolf Lodge.
The pitch on the way from Wilkinson. Fastball cut on and missed for a strike. Finn Barman. A ground out to third, reached on a fielder's choice back in the fourth inning. 6-run lead for the Comets, up 8-2. Fastball cut on and missed again.
And I actually think Dane Donovan is pinch hitting for Barman right now.
Good catch. The 0-2 was down too low.
They both have a 7 in their number. That's why it fooled us.
And here we thought nothing was going to get by us for the 2 hours we'd be on the air. Well, it didn't get by you, man. You caught it. Well done. Swing and a miss, strike 3. Got him to chase after the high heat, and Wilkinson strikes out the first batter he sees on 4 pitches.
Wilkinson, this is his first appearance of the season. He hasn't pitched yet for Amherst, so off to a good start in 2026 on the mound.
Enter Marcus Takancic. A walk and a strikeout for him so far. Wilkinson unloads the first pitch. It's a heater high, 1-0.
Wilkinson early is really trying to elevate the fastball, try to get the hitters to chase. It worked on Donovan. Now he's trying to do the same to Kancic.
Next pitch is hit in the air to left field. Taking a couple of steps toward the line, Cole Marquez. He makes the catch with relative ease, even though that ball was hit really hard off the bat of Takancic. 2 gone. Those can be frustrating as a hitter when you hit one on the screws like that, but it goes right to the left fielder.
Had a few of those back in my day. Not fun.
I wish I could say the same, but I mostly swung and missed. Here's A.J. Peluso. Fastball upstairs, 1-0. It has cooled off a few degrees. We're down to 84.
Are you cold now?
No, not even close. Heater high one more time, ball 2. Don't want to use the R word. We want to shoo that away. They had said there was the potential for that a little bit later on tonight. Fastball up high, ball 3.
Good thing we started earlier.
Yeah. Without getting too deep into that conversation and jinxing things. Good looking pitch, called a strike. Else, perhaps the warmest day that we've had so far during the baseball softball season. This ball is hit softly fouled down the first baseline, check swing, and I think that may have gotten a piece of the batter.
Hit Peluso in the box. Not a good feeling. Trying to shake that off.
Stuffs the count full. Wilkinson trying to make this a 1-2-3 home half of the 6th inning. He delivers. Swung on and missed, strike 3. 3 up, 3 down for Wilkinson here in the 6th, on to the 7th. Still 8-2 Amherst on the Lorain County Sports Network on YouTube. reached the top of the 7th inning. Trey Powers, southpaw, came on back in the 6th inning for St. Ignatius. He allowed a base hit to Cooper Bingham. Then he struck out Landon Wolf, and he got Harrison Schneider to bounce into a 5-4-3 twin killing. Here in the 6th, or should say 7th, he's scheduled to face the 6, 7, 8 batters, Zach Diedrich, Eli Toyota, and Zayden Rosario. Want to remind you, coming up when the game is over, we've got the Dovin and Reber Jones Funeral Home and Cremation Center post-game show. We'll have to pick out our player of the game, brought to you by Lang Optical in Elyria. Plenty of games coming your way, weather permitting, throughout the rest of the week. So make sure you smash that like and subscribe button if you're watching this one on YouTube on the Lorain County Sports Network. Trey Powers facing Zach Diedrich. He gave Amherst 3 scoreless innings to begin the game. And at the plate, 2 for 3 with a couple of base hits. Powers' first pitch to him is outside for a ball.
And I think Dietrich might be an early player of the game candidate. Done very well today.
Hard to dispute that. Low went in, and that almost got a piece of him. I'd say at this point he's probably the front runner. Cole Marquez has a couple of nice defensive plays. He's also scored once and drove in a couple of runs. Trey Powers misses down and into tight ball 3. Eli Toyota has reached 3 times. 2 base hits, 1 that drove in a run. But hard to argue with the guy. They gave them 3 scoreless innings to start. Held that St. Ignatius offense in check and helped himself along the way with those 2 singles. 3-0. Waist tie fastball, strike 1. Trey Powers has what he wants from Colleran and comes to the plate. This is lined in a right field base hit. 3rd knock of the game for Diedrich.
And Dietrich, he's taking the ball the other way every time for the most part in his at-bats. He got jammed with a fastball and was able to serve it to right field for another base hit.
Zach Diedrich, just a sophomore. He's had a tremendous afternoon here at Fisher Field. Enter Eli Toyota in the 7th spot. A pickoff attempt at first base, but Diedrich gets back easily. Eli Toyota, junior infielder, got some big innings as a sophomore a year ago on the team that went all the way to the state title game for the Comets. Waiting on the first pitch from Powers. A long stare down at first, and time called by the batter, Toyota.
Amherst, they really haven't stolen that many bases here today. I don't even think they have a stolen base here today. So I don't think Dietrich will be a threat to go.
Powers, hands at the belt, and the pitch. It's down too low. St. Ignatius has used 3 today. Logan Raybeck went 2 innings and change. John Blazer took them through the next 3 before they called on Powers in the 6th inning. Fastball spikes its way toward the catcher, Colleran. 2 balls, no strikes. A .404 batter on the year. Eli Toyota's knocked in 20 runs. The RBI single in the 4th inning was his 20th this season. Another pickoff attempt at first base, but again, Diedrich gets back easily.
Dietrich, he doesn't really have a big lead at first. And Powers, not really with a deceiving pickoff move.
He's been studying him very closely at first. Comes to the dish, fouled away again. Well, we've seen some plate discipline throughout the game, too, from Amherst. They put some real nice at-bats together. And Coach Rossitano said they would need that in order to come out on top in this one. Not over yet, but they do lead by 6 here in the 7th inning. 3 balls and a strike on Toyota. They've capitalized on some mistakes as well. And he said they've kind of been able to ride that wave throughout the year. Again, tough to argue with the results at 18-3 coming in. Second seed in their region. This is hit toward the gap in left center field. That's going to get down for extra bases. This goes to the warning track. On his way to third base, Diedrich rolling into second with a stand-up double, Eli Toyota. Second extra base hit of the game for Amherst. And they've got men in scoring position with nobody out. And the catchers, Aiden Rosario, entering the batter's box.
Which is crazy to think about. For 8 runs, they only have 2 extra base hits. And Amherst, they've put up good at-bats today against the St. Ignatius pitching staff, and they haven't chased any pitches. Hence why they have a 6-run lead and trying to add.
Powers' first pitch to Rosario, called a strike.
And I think Rosario wants that pitch back. He saw a great fastball right down the pipe, but couldn't pull the trigger.
14 hits for Amherst so far today. High fastball will even things up at 1-1.
And 12 singles. Incredible. That's got to be like a single game record. 12 singles.
Rosario has one of those. That was a bump base hit his first time up. Breaking ball down low. And that really was a thing of beauty. Rolled it up the third baseline. It stopped maybe a third of the way up the line.
And there was nothing Rayback or Kollering could do in that situation. Perfect spot.
Powers with a fastball called a strike at the knees of Rosario. This has been a great year for Amherst, and you know there are some seniors on this team, but not an overwhelming amount either. Swung on in line into center field. Anthony coming forward, dives and makes the catch. Tagging from third base, Diedrich, and he will score. The ball took an awkward bounce on its way in toward the plate. Sac fly RBI for Zayden Rosario. Amherst will tack on another to go up 9-2.
That throw hit the pitcher's mound, and Anthony's throw is on target, hit the mound. Even if it did not hit the mound, I still think Diedrich would have gotten there safely, but just a little too on the nose there, and there's really nothing you can do there with your Anthony.
Made a heck of a catch. Sure looked like that was ticketed for an RBI base hit. And here comes Tyler Dent. Dent looks at a fastball called a strike. In the 9 hole, 1 for 3. Stroked an opposite field single in the second. Struck out in the third. And then he lined out to Anthony in center field in the 5th inning. Powers, a long look towards second. And he'll come to the plate. Whoa, way up and way in.
Look out. Only 1 hit batter today.
Well, we've gotten a really good look at this Amherst offense today. I mean, they've done it, as you mentioned, with a healthy dose of singles. They've worked some lengthy at-bats as well. There have been a few that have gone 7 pitches or more. Fastball down and outside, 2-1.
They have made this St. Ignatius pitching staff really work for that out. In Amherst, they haven't given an inch in any at-bat here today.
It's part of the reason they've been so successful throughout the year. Walking over 120 times, hit by 25 pitches, only striking out 100 times. The free base to strikeout ratio. Usually, if you're doing that, you're winning most of your games.
It's like that Moneyball formula. You get on base, you score a lot of runs.
And usually, you know, when you have long battles like that at the plate, you're bound to see one that you like and that you feel like you can drive. 3-1 on Tyler Dent. Powers takes a look towards second, a second look that direction. And the pitch. Fastball called, strike 2. Amherst has scored at least 1 run in all but 2 innings today. They were kept off the board in the 5th and again in the 6th inning. Planning 1 more here in the 7th. Fastball called, strike 3. Backwards cave for Trey Powers. His 2nd strikeout since entering in the 6th inning. 2 down back to the top of the order with Eli Toyota at 2nd and Cole Marquez coming to the plate. Marquez with 2 great plays defensively and left. And he's had an impact at the top of the order as well. First pitch to him bounces its way to the plate, 1-0.
He's one of those guys that we've been talking about in this inning. He gets on base and he scores. He scores a lot of runs for this Amherst offense.
First team All-State performer a season ago. They've rotated in 5 outfielders this season. That should give you an idea as to just how deep they are. The pitch to him, swung on, lined opposite way, base hit. Sends that into left field. On his way around third, Toyota. He'll try to score. Here comes the relay throw, not in time. It's a 2-out RBI base hit for Cole Marquez. He's driven in 3 runs today, and it's a 10-2 Comet lead in the 7th.
So now everyone in the Amherst lineup except for one has a hit today. Marquez finally gets his first one.
2 down still for Colt Charles. 2 for 4 with a single and a double. Trey Powers ready at the belt after a long look to first base, and the pitch way up high, a ball. Charles, just a junior, scored the game's first run on a balk back in the 1st inning. Good looking breaking ball from Powers for a strike. And Jared, you mentioned this before. Amherst hasn't been crazy aggressive on the bases today. A check swing. This is hit softly on the ground towards second. Fielded there by Olivares. Throws to first, and he'll get it there in time to get Charles for the last out in the 7th. But Amherst adds another on an RBI base hit from Cole Marquez, and they get another one as well on a sacrifice fly from Zayden Rosario. They lead 10-2 through 6.5. This is Lorain County High School baseball on the Lorain County Sports Network. It's now or never for St. Ignatius, trailing 10-2 as we enter the bottom of the 7th inning here at Fisher Field. At Baldwin Wallace, Harrison Schneider on the pitch for the Amherst Comets. 9-1-2 batters due up. It's Yadigan Olivares, Ryan Whalen, and Jackson Anthony to face Harrison Schneider. SWC MVP a season ago, all-county performer, all-state performer, and he has dazzled again this season. This will be his 8th appearance, 6-1 on the year, a sub-1 ERA of .40.
And he's a guy that's probably going to be a closer for Amherst when the playoffs come around because he hasn't started a game this season.
Good hard fastball called a strike on Oliveras. Walked in a run back of the fourth inning. That was the first one for St. Ignatius. He swings and misses way behind to the fastball, 0-2. Schneider at 6'4", 200 pounds. Pretty good velocity on that fastball, usually sitting 92, 93. He's topped out at 94 as well. Peering into Rosario. Here's the 0-2 pitch. Fastball swing and a miss, strike 3. Good morning, good afternoon, good night.
You read my mind. That's what I was just about to say.
When you throw it that hard in high school, you know, a lot of times you don't have to mess with a whole lot else. Back to the top for Ryan Whalen. Leadoff batter's 0 for 2, though he did reach in a walk his first time up. Fastball is inside.
Got a piece of the home plate umpire. That's never good.
10-2 Amherst. Comets, double-digit knocks into the teens in this one. The pitch. Fastball high and wide, ball 2. Unofficially, I've got them down for 15 hits. And for St. Ignatius, they have a couple. Infield single for Jackson Anthony in the first, and a solo homer for Braden Colleran in the 5th inning. Schneider comes to the plate. Fastball high, ball 4. So Ryan Whalen makes his second trip down to first base. 1 on and 1 away for Jackson Anthony. We had Harrison Schneider on during halftime of one of our basketball broadcasts on the Cool Cat. Tremendous young man. Fastball called a strike at the knees of Jackson Anthony.
Think he's a better basketball or a better baseball player?
Well, he didn't play basketball. He was just kind of there at halftime to join us. Kudos to him for being there because that was one of those days, there were many this winter, where it was far beyond cold. As a matter of fact, I think it was so cold that day, they actually didn't have school. But he still showed up to the basketball game that night. His 1-1 hit in the air, high and deep to left center field. This has extra bases written all over it as that goes all the way to the wall. Whalen around third. He's going to score standing up. It's an RBI double for Jackson Anthony. St. Ignatius claws a little bit closer, now trailing 10-3 here in the 7th. That ball was smoked.
First hit we've seen today from St. Ignatius with a runner on, and it comes at a good time for the Wildcats here in the 7th.
And here's Braden Colleran. Boy, a majestic solo blast over the wall in right field. His last time up, he's 1 for 3. Schneider stops him out with an off-speed pitch outside, 1-0.
That was his first home run of the season, and that was a no-doubter. Almost got to the houses on the other side of the street.
I always wonder about that when I'm driving by here, because you kind of sort of are in harm's way if there's a powerful left-handed bat at the plate.
Well, if they hit a window, BW's got to pay for it.
Off-speed pitch called a strike. That's a really good 2-0 pitch. Talked about Colleran's numbers before. 333 batter coming in, an OPS of 1024. Off-speed again, strike 2 called.
Really good job by Schneider to get back into the count. Fastball wasn't working for him. Went to his off-speed. He's got a good pitcher's count.
2-ball, 2-strike pitch. Strike 3, got him swinging at a fastball. Again, when you throw it that hard and you can spot your off-speed pitch the way Schneider did the previous 2, you certainly have the upper hand.
That was a great pitching sequence there by Schneider because Colleran, I think he thought he was going to get another off-speed pitch, but he didn't.
St. Ignatius down to their final out. And the skies are getting a little bit dark. field umpire wanted to get some of those pellets off the mound. Now that that's been rectified, we get back to the action. Jackson Anthony at second. Fastball up and in, ball 2 on Jacob Merhem. Amherst leading 10-3. Bottom of the 7th, 2 out. Good looking curveball, called a strike. You can see the arsenal here from Schneider. Good hard fastball, a nice arsenal to go along with it. Ground ball to short. That hits off the glove of the shortstop, Cooper Bingham, and redirects into left field. That's going to bring another one home. Anthony scores to make it 10-4. And that'll keep this game going for Jack Quinn.
Really the most trouble that Amherst has faced today. First 3 innings, they were cruising.
Harrison Schneider trying to put this one away for Amherst. The first pitch is popped up into left field. Cole Marquez camps out underneath it, and that will do it. So the Comets come away with the win. Their 19th of the season. They move to 19-3 with the victory. They defeat St. Ignatius with a final tally of 10-4. We will take a timeout, and when we come back, we will launch right into our Dovin and Reber Jones Funeral Home and Cremation Center post-game show. We'll pick out our Lang Optical Player of the Game and put a bow on this one. Again, Amherst 10, St. Ignatius 4, our final count in this one on the Lorain County Sports Network. score here today at Fisher Field at Baldwin-Wallace. Amherst a winner over St. Ignatius. Time to dive into our post-game show brought to you by Dovin and Reber Jones Funeral Home and Cremation Center, where families come together and remember. Andy Bolbarch joined alongside Jaron Viancourt to wrap this up for you here on the post-game show. We are joined up here in the broadcast position by Matt Rossitano, the head coach of the Amherst Comets. Coach, congratulations on the victory. Hard-fought battle against a very tough opponent. You know, before we came into this thing here today, you told me earlier this afternoon, you throw away the record when you're talking about St. Ignatius. I mean, this is a program that is always incredibly good. They fought there towards the end, but you guys got ahead early. You never relinquished the momentum. What stood out to you about your team's performance today?
I just told the guys yesterday and today, going into two big ones against Avon Lake tomorrow and Wednesday, I think these are my two favorite wins of the year. Yesterday over at Riverside and then today here, because we needed everybody. It was basically bullpen games yesterday and today, so we had guys that maybe hadn't thrown a lot of innings that needed to come up and come through and step up, and we did that. Guys like Xander Hopkins and Jeremy Stepp, and then Nick Wilkinson pitched his first varsity inning today, and Zach Diedrich right here got his first start because he's pitched primarily in relief the whole year, and I thought our pitching the last 2 days has been great, and then we're back to playing Amherst offensive baseball, where we were able to get 11 hits yesterday over at Riverside and 15 hits today, and when you combine those two things together, we're a pretty good team.
Well, I want to give you a chance to talk about this young man that's joined us up here in the broadcast position, Zach Diedrich. He is our Lang Optical player of the game, tremendous on the mound, 3 scoreless innings of action, and at the plate wasn't too shabby either with a 3-hit performance. Talk about his performance and just how huge that was for you guys.
Yeah, he was going to be on a pitch count because we wanted him available to be in relief on Wednesday against Avon Lake. So we knew coming in that we're going to keep him under 50. If that was 2 innings or 3 innings, we were hoping to get him through 3, and he had 3 really good innings. And he did exactly what we needed to do, what we needed him to do on the mound. And at the plate, he did what he's been doing all year. We talked about, like you said a little bit earlier this afternoon, his swing is just so simple with very little movement. He doesn't strike out a whole lot, and he's a good off-speed hitter just because there's not a whole lot of movement, very simple, direct to the ball, and when you have those kind of fundamentals with his bat speed, good things are going to happen.
Coach, Cole Marquez in left field. He had some great defensive plays today, didn't do that bad in the box as well. Talk about Marquez's defense and what he's done for you this season.
Yeah, I mean, when we can go out, I think Cole made about 3 really nice plays out there. Harrison made a really nice play at third. When we can play defense behind our pitchers and not give teams extra outs and free bases, that keeps their pitch count down and, keeps runners off base. And, you can't say enough about Cole Marquez. He hasn't quite had the year offensively that he probably would like, being a first-team All-Ohio player last year. But, there's more to the game than just hitting. And when you can help us defensively, you're going to be an asset.
Well, Coach, weather permitting, you guys have games coming up against Avon Lake these next couple of days, so do that anti-rain dance. Make sure these dark clouds get out of the way. Thanks, as always, for your time. Congratulations on the win, and best of luck the rest of the way.
Absolutely. Thank you.
Thank you, Coach. Matt Rossitano, head coach of the Amherst Comets, joining us here during the Dovin and Reber Jones Funeral Home and Cremation Center post-game show. We now have our Lang Optical player of the game. Lang Optical, see the difference. Zach Diedrich, well, congratulations on winning the award. A tremendous performance here today. So walk us through those 3 innings, but more specifically, the first inning, first 2 batters reached. You bared down after that. What was going through your mind when you were facing Braden Colleran after allowing the first 2 guys to reach?
I mean, after the first 2 batters got on, all I was trying to do was throw strikes. I mean, I trust my defense. I know they're going to make the play, so as long as I throw strikes in, if their offense is able to put the ball in play, I trust my defense that they're going to make the plays and get the outs for me.
And you were outstanding at the plate as well. A 3-hit performance for you in the 6th spot, 3 base hits. You scored 3 times as well. What was the key to your success offensively?
I mean, they're throwing good velo. First kid had really nice off speed, so like Coach said, I was just short and simple to the ball, no stride. I mean, I was looking backside, so if they threw it off speed, I would be able to pull it. But all my hits were middle or backside, and that's exactly what I was looking to do today.
Diedrich, you made your first start of the season. Was the preparation, the mindset different from relief appearances for you?
Definitely was different. Had a lot more time. Honestly, it was a little weird. I didn't mind it. I felt like I was waiting around because when you come in relief, you only have an inning or half an inning to warm up. So it felt a little different, but I definitely felt good today, so it's all right.
Tell us about what it feels like to be a part of this team, that incredible run that you guys made last year, going all the way to the state championship. The hopes were high coming into this year as well. How good do you feel about where you guys are before you play that tournament game next week, and more specifically, you have a chance to wrap up the conference this week against Avon Lake?
I mean, this is the funnest I've ever had playing baseball. This is the best team I've ever been on. I mean, I think we really have a good chance to take it all the way and win states this year, and I know that if we do what we're supposed to do, it should be no problem.
Zach Diedrich, congratulations on being our Lang Optical Player of the Game. We need your John Hancock on that bat.
Yes,
It's
sir.
customary for every player of the game. Again, congratulations to Zach Diedrich, our Lang Optical and Elyria Player of the Game. That's Lang Optical. See the difference. Jared, what a game here today for Amherst. They come away with a 10-4 win, 15 hits along the way. They were pretty darn good in every phase of the game.
Yeah, Amherst did everything they needed to do to get the victory over St. Ignatius today. And this is the state tournament mentality, Amherst comments we know and love, and we're looking forward to seeing what they do the rest of the way in the playoffs this season.
So many outstanding performances for Amherst offensively with those 15 hits. I mean, almost everybody hit safely in this game for the Comets. Cole Marquez drove in two. He had a base hit. He had a sacrifice fly. He also had a bases-loaded walk. Colt Charles in the 2-hole had a couple of hits. Cooper Bingham, 3 in the 3-hole. We just talked with Zach Diedrich. In addition to giving them 3 scoreless sittings on the mound, he had 3 hits at the dish. Eli Toyota also had a 3-hit game. Zayden Rosario in the 8th spot, a bunt base hit, sac fly, RBI. And if that wasn't enough, in the 9-hole, Tyler Dean, a run-scoring single. So much balance up and down that batting order.
You talked about it when we first started, Andy. There's not really a tough out in this Amherst lineup, and we saw it today.
So 10 runs on 15 hits for the Comets. And for St. Ignatius, they fall in this one 10-4. They go to 9-12 on the season. And they've got the rest of this week to get ready as they prepare for the tournament next week. Again, they'll take on Elyria in their first playoff game. And this was a pretty exciting one here today. Even though the final score may not reflect it, I think the changing moment in this one, you know, sure, you look and you see that 5-run second inning, but it certainly looked like this thing was kind of hanging in the balance in the 4th inning when Ryan Whalen hit a fly ball to left field that was caught by Cole Marquez, a tremendous sliding catch. And after that, it seemed like this one was pretty much over.
Yeah, absolutely. That catch changed the whole complexion of the game, and it was smooth sailing from there for the Amherst pitching staff.
All right, well, that's going to wrap things up for us here at Fisher Field at Baldwin Wallace. A big thanks to all of you for tuning into this one on the Lorain County Sports Network on YouTube. Want to say thanks to all of our sponsors, Spitzer Auto World in Amherst. At Spitzer, our world revolves around you. Lang Optical in Elyria. See the difference. Brian Baker, proud supporter of Lorain County High School sports. Dovin and Reber Jones Funeral Home and Cremation Center, where families come together and remember. And Great Lakes Honda West in Elyria. They are the sponsor for the Mr. and Miss Baseball and Softball Watch nominees. Take advantage of the Honda Spring Sales event happening now at your local Honda dealer. Jared, any final thoughts from you before we sign off?
No, Andy, it was a great game. I was glad that we were able to see Amherst for the first time this season, and I can't wait to see what they do down the stretch.
A pleasure to work with you, partner, as always. Best of luck with the game that you and Max have on Saturday. Hopefully you guys get it in and there's no rain that washes it away.
We're definitely going to need the Tanapee on Saturday for sure.
Want to say thanks to both head coaches as well, St. Ignatius head coach Brad Gaynor and Matt Rossitano of the Amherst Comets as well for getting us all the information and preparation for today's broadcast. My thanks to the entire broadcast team as well. My tag team partner Jared Viancourt, and also a big thanks to our producer Duke Anzac and Johnny G for working the camera. That's going to do it here from Baldwin Wallace. One final time, your final score, Amherst 10, St. Ignatius 4. For Jared, Duke, and Johnny G, this is Andy Bullbarch saying thanks again for tuning in to today's presentation of high school baseball on the Lorain County Sports Network. Have a wonderful evening.